Welcome back to another tutorial. You probably guessed it's very cold today and I've got lots of layers on. Now before I go into the full tutorial, I've noticed that my basket that I've just prepared is leaking water. Now you'll often hear me say, make sure that your container is watertight before you start, and I haven't done that. So I'm going to stop the video or pause the video and show you with the container yourself. So we'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm back. I've got my towel to mop up any spills. If you've watched the video that I think might be in the first video of the new year when I did a beautiful basket arrangement, I mentioned that I'd been gifted quite a few baskets. And today's design, I wanted to be quite simple and very rustic in its appearance. So I've chosen one of the baskets that I was given by one of my customers, and looking in it now, I can see there's a few holes in the bottom of the plastic lining. So to prevent any more water leakage, I'm going to use just an ordinary bag. This is something you would use to put your shopping in. I'm going to use that to reline the bag. Now, if you're using supermarket flowers, you could reuse the packaging from the flowers themselves, or you could use a black rubbish bag. Anything really that's going to prevent any more water leaking out of your basket. And this gives me the opportunity to show you that I am using green floral foam today. If you want to use the agri wool, and I showed you that either in last week's video or in the video that's coming very soon. If you don't want to use the green foam, there are a few alternatives. What I'm going to do here, this is about 2/3 of a block. It's been pre-soaked, and I'm hopefully now going to end up with a waterproof container if I just push that back inside. So fingers crossed that's going to work, and at the end of the video we'll have a really lovely design. For today's video I'm going a little bit cultural and very traditionally Welsh, and I'm going to talk about Saint Dwynwen. Now if you don't speak Welsh you probably haven't got a clue what I just said, but Saint Dwynwen here in Wales is the patron saint of lovers. Lots of Welsh speakers will celebrate their love for their partner on Saint Dwynwen's Day, which is the 25th of January, rather than on the traditional February the 14th, which is of course St Valentine's Day. Now Dwynwen was a beautiful young lady, and she was the prettiest of her 23 sisters. She fell in love with a local man that she wasn't allowed to marry because her father, that was the king, wanted her to marry a prince. Now poor distraught Dwynwen fled to the forest to cry and begged God for his help. She was visited by an angel who gave her a potion to drink that was going to help her forget her beloved Milon. But the potion turned him into a block of ice. So Dwynwen was granted 3 wishes. The first one was to thaw her beloved Milon. Her second wish was for God to help all true lovers. And her third wish was that she would never marry. In gratitude, the beautiful Dwynwen lived life as a nun in a beautiful spot in Anglesey, which is in North Wales. And not only is she our patron saint of lovers, but she's also the patron saint here in Wales of any sick animals. So a little bit of traditional Welsh culture for you for today. What I'm going to do is a really simple, very rustic design in the basket. And I'm going to introduce a love spoon, which if you've travelled or you've been to Wales, you will be very familiar with. And love spoons here in Wales are given as a token of love and affection. Originally, they would have been hand carved with significant features, maybe initials or a motto or a symbol, an emblem of some aspect. This one has a lovely sailing ship, so I'm imagining that at some point this was given by a sailor or a yachtsman or somebody to do with the sea. Okay, so as always, enough of the background information. Let's get stuck in with today's design. So you've seen the floral foam. That's firmly placed deep into the container to give me some stability, and to keep it hydrated I'll be able to pour water down the side of the container to keep the floral foam moist, and that's really important with any type of arranging of flowers. Now to give me a little bit of height, I'm going to use pussy willows. Now traditionally these are just about coming into season because it's the spring here in Wales, but you will be able to find these in supermarkets, and they dry beautifully, so you can reuse them time and time again. I had these delivered before Christmas and I'm still using up the big box full that I had in. And what I'm going to do here on the left hand side of the arrangement is to create almost like a column effect there on one side. The design is lovely and tall. It's at least twice the height of my container. And I didn't want a huge amount of floral foam visible because that means I need a lot of foliage to cover it. And I really wanted this to be quite uncomplicated and simple. I didn't want to overfill it with a lot of foliage at the bottom. Now my flower choice for today is a simple, really basic selection. This is part of 2 supermarket mixed bunches. I've gone with these very warm tones of oranges, which I thought would be a perfect combination with my container. You might notice they're really quite short, and that often happens with supermarket flowers. And I've got 2 of the darker coloured Alstroemeria, and then I've got 3 of these really lovely soft apricot sort of orange rose. These I've had here a day or 2 just to get them to start to open so that you can appreciate all that lovely colour. And what I'm going to start by doing first of all is placing my love spoon to the right hand side of my arrangement. So I'm almost creating sort of 2 columns, and if you're familiar with parallel arrangements, this is really inspired by those placements that are lined up alongside one another, whereas often the arrangements I do on the channel radiate away from the centre point, and that's 2 very different styles of arranging. Don't forget there are lots of online courses that you can participate in, and if you want to ask any questions then please put them in the comment box below because I can answer them and help you with any information that you need to have. Right, so we have 2 columns. At the moment they're quite vertical. To give me that depth I'll bring some greenery towards the back, but this is a good starting point. And what I'm going to do with the smaller of my rows, nice clean cut on the bottom, I'm going to get rid of the leaf because they are a bit scruffy. I'm going to bring a line of flowers down in front or possibly alongside that column of pussy willow. Let's just get that in the right place. So we're going to start, I'm making sure that I've got everything at a different height, and that will make your eye travel downwards through the bouquet from the top to the bottom. I'm going to give quite a big gap before I add in my next flower, and I'm going to start slightly bringing it forward. So instead of it being where the head is facing the ceiling, I'm going to angle it slightly forward because that's going to give me the profile that I want. But what I'm thinking of is that I want to put my Alstroemeria in the middle. So I need to leave enough room so that my Alstroemeria comes down in the middle. And I've only got 2 of those flowers. So I've had to think before I started how I'm going to arrange the overall style and shape of the individual flowers. And it's a good little tip. Sometimes you can sketch your design so that you can visualize before you start making the arrangement where you want the flowers to go. So if we now look at it from the side, it's got a profile, it's not flat. I've got that depth that I talk about, and I've got that 3-dimensional quality. And then I'm going to choose the Alstroemeria that's the smaller size. I think I'm going to use this one because it's a nicer shape. Let me just, before I cut it, I'll just hold it up there for you to see. This one is drawing your eye slightly away, so I'm going to cut that one off and I can use it lower down. That now is a bit more streamlined, and I'm going to be able to get my Alstroemeria in that gap between my first 2 roses. I don't want to hide that lovely love spoon on the side. So if you're not Welsh and you're not planning on giving anybody flowers for Saint Dwynwen's Day, you could repeat this for Saint Valentine's Day. It could be for an anniversary, and you could incorporate a gift or a novelty item on the side. But I thought it was something that we hadn't done before, and it's a different way of arranging flowers and incorporating an accessory. If any of you work in a florist shop, then quite often we're asked to incorporate gifts into arrangements, and this is a little bit of inspiration for you. I'm pleased to say that my turntable is staying nice and dry, so by adding in that plastic bag, I've made sure that it's completely watertight. Now what I'm going to do is incorporate some greenery at the base. And I've got this chrysanthemum. Now you're either going to love this or you're going to absolutely hate it. This is one of the dyed chrysanthemums, and this is one that's been dyed by standing it in colour dye, and that's something that's quite easy to do at home. It's a really good one to do if you've got children or grandchildren at home. Buy yourself a bunch of cheap white flowers, put some food colouring in the water, and you can see how the colour is incorporated into the flower head and how you get this really lovely variation at the top. Before I add this one in, I think I'm going to put in some greenery first, and I'm really quite excited today because from my own garden I've actually managed to grow some mimosa, which I can't quite understand. It's absolutely freezing here in the UK at the moment, and I have this lovely plant that I bought in Marks and Spencer's. I was advised to get it by a student that comes here and does classes, so thank you, Sandra. And if I can just get the camera in close on that bit, hopefully you can see I've even got mimosa growing on the end. So in another couple of weeks, I'll be able to use this in a design for you. If you think about the mimosa, it's a very delicate leaf. I thought it was going to work really well with today's design. It's not too conspicuous, it's not too heavy, it's going to blend in quite nicely in this design. And I don't have a huge amount of flowers, so I didn't want to go with anything that was going to be too heavy and was going to spoil the overall look. Okay, so I've added some in there onto the one side, and I'm going to cut a few more pieces down low. Just swap my scissors because this one is a bit better. So I'm going to bring that colour, that texture, right the way through to the back. If you haven't got mimosa like me, I'm quite shocked that I've got it at all. Think about something small and dainty. It could be hebe, you might have eucalyptus, anything that's going to give you a delicate look rather than something that's too heavy and too robust. And by bringing it out in longer pieces at the back, I'm balancing off the basket, so I'm bringing weight to the back and I'm helping to create that three-dimensional look. And what I'm going to do then is also bring some of this through towards the front so that I have the same greenery towards the front. Because I don't have a huge amount of floral foam to hide, the base part of my arrangement is going to remain delicate. It's going to be quite plain and quite simple, which is really the style that I want to achieve. Now, to add a bit of contrast and give me a slightly stronger leaf, but nothing that's too overpowering, I'm going to introduce some common ivy. Now, Saint Dwynwen was from the 5th century, and when I originally thought about doing this, I was thinking about having flowers that were quite plain and quite simple, and nothing that was too pretentious, to keep it in style with that period of time. But I was quite limited with the choice of flowers that was from the supermarket, but I did feel that the ivy would give me a nice link in colour, and the berries are maybe a bit rustic and definitely have more of a countryside theme. And then on the opposite side, we'll just carry a little bit more through of the ivy. Now, for some reason, I keep going to call it holly, and that's probably because that's all I've done for the last couple of months is use holly. So this is, of course, ivy. It's not a leaf that's too big and too overpowering. It's in keeping with the overall size of my arrangement. And I'm doing the same there at the back. I'm making sure I've got some longer lengths so that I add weight to the back and the design isn't going to fall over. So that is quite a nice design as it is, but I do still have this orange coloured chrysanthemum that I am going to use. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to start with individual heads, and I'm going to bring the colour from one side to the other. I don't want to go too wide with this arrangement, but I need to start with the smaller of the heads, because that's the best way to arrange this style of arrangement. Start with your smaller heads and work towards the bigger heads towards the middle. I've created my outline with my greenery, so I don't want to go any wider. But I'm going to bring what in floristry we would call a line within the outline. So I'm bringing a line through the middle of my arrangement from one side to the other, so that I'm bringing that colour, that shape and that texture from one side to the other, remembering not to overpower or hide that love spoon, because that really is the main feature or the accessory within this arrangement, and we don't want to hide it. Now, another way of getting some depth into your arrangement is by using your flowers at a lower level. This is called recession. So what I'm going to do with a couple of my chrysanthemums is I'm going to cut them low, and I'm going to tuck them right down in the arrangement so they're almost sitting on top of the floral foam. And this will help draw your eye right down into the base and give you those different levels to create that three-dimensional effect. Okay, I think one more. Well, it's got to be one more because it's my last chrysanthemum head. Now, if you're using an accessory in an arrangement, always make sure it looks like it's an integral part and it doesn't look like it's been included as an afterthought. Now, of course, the love story had a bit of a prickly edge to it because Saint Dwynwen's dad wouldn't allow her to marry her lover. So to give a bit of an interpretive theme, and to play on the fact that she was prevented from marrying her loved one, and going to incorporate these sort of prickly stems, these branches that have been dried and dyed. So we've got all this soft, beautiful flower texture, and then we've got these prickly natured sort of branches which reflect the sad side of the story. And I'm going to get two on both sides. Just angle this side out slightly more. So for today, a little bit of Welsh culture and Welsh history for you. I hope you've enjoyed that little story. If you're living in Wales, don't forget Saint Dwynwen's Day on the 25th of January. I'll be back very soon with a design for Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year. Thank you as ever for watching. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell to be told every time I upload a new tutorial. Pop over to SharonDower.com and see what online courses are running. Don't forget to like and share with as many people as you can, and comment in the box below, because it really does show YouTube that you're all interested and loving the videos. So thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you for the next one. Bye for now.